Hi everyone! Welcome to Kats Creations on Wednesday instead of Friday. Because we won't be here Friday night because we're going out of town for my daughter's wedding. So today is the Sunday makeup video for those of you because I don't know if I'll make it back in time, so I don't want to make promises. So this is what we're doing. We are doing a Friends TV show inspired wreath. This is a custom order. And I just thought it would be fun taking a break from fall, and then starting next week we'll start to incorporate a lot of the Christmas into our designs. So if you're new here, let us know you're new, let us know where you're from. We'd like to welcome you and hopefully we'll make a crafting connection here. The sign, honestly, I purchased this sign a couple of years ago through some seller on Etsy, and I'd have to dig through my invoices from 2019 to figure out who I got it from, but I just Googled Friends Central Perk sign, and this is what arrived, which was perfect for my theme. And then yeah, we're ready to go. So YouTubers, if you're catching this live, this is a Facebook recording from Wednesday, August the 18th, I believe, 2021. So if you want to catch a Facebook Live or live, just go to my Facebook page at KatsCreationsNMore, and then you'll be able to find all the information out about, we're normally Fridays at 5 p.m. Pacific and Sundays 6 p.m. Pacific. And then you can kind of figure out where your time frame is, where you fall into that. But if you want to get notified when we go live, and I caution this because it's up to Facebook to follow the notification process all the way through. But on our end, if you can just make sure you're liking and following the page, and then right now, like when we're going live, if you can tap on the actual video in the upper right hand corner, there should be 3 dots. Click on the 3 dots and just make sure when your submenu opens that live notifications are on. And then that's all technically you should do. I can't guarantee you that you'll get notified when we go live, but
it's up to Facebook.
Yeah, it's entirely up to them. So we are doing a 14-inch Dollar Tree wreath frame. So I've done the first 5 sections. We're going to do the last section together. You're going to need 3 pipe cleaners. So you're going to take your pipe cleaner and wire the 2 innermost rings. Let me make sure these are balanced out fairly even. Right in between the weld marks. So by weld marks, I mean these marks here. So try to find a way that's midway. And then you're going to use your pipe cleaner you just added and the weld mark and wire together the outside 2 so that each section has a total of 3. 2 on the outside, 1 on the inside, so there is a grand total of 18, 12 on the outside and 6 on the inside. And we're ready to go ahead and start. We are going to be using a navy blue fabric mesh. This is from Craft Outlet. These are cut to 20-inch pieces, and we're just going to ruffle these. And this fabric mesh is very thick, so this should provide more than adequate coverage. However, with the fabric mesh, it requires you to cut it with a rotary tool. So we want to make sure that we are reducing the possibilities of frays, and that's why I kind of place the inside and outside finished edges to the top and bottom to minimize the amount of, I don't know, touching you do.
Hi Lisa, she said it's raining. It rains out in New York. You can send some rain our way.
Please.
Stay safe. Rhonda Butler said, I'm so glad I finally joined the credit group.
Yay, so glad to have you.
Hi Barbara, hi gals, just joining.
So hopefully this will give you guys some inspiration. I'm actually making this for my oldest daughter. I've had the design in place for a couple years. I've just got around to actually making it. But sadly, I ordered Friends ribbon and I can't find the Friends ribbon. That's what happens to having a very small amount of it and a very large craft area. And just like I told Steve, we'll find it when we're not looking for it. So if so,
Probably tomorrow.
probably tomorrow. Probably after this wreath is out of our house is when we'll legitimately find it. But yeah, the color scheme on a friend's wreath can be pretty much sky's the limit. There's so many different options you have in deciding on your design. We kind of took some suggestions from the sign. Contemplated going with like a beige base, like a neutral base, but I really wanted the sign to stand out. And then of course, everything that we add to the wreath, I wanted a very subdued neutral base. So navy's gonna be it. And I'm removing the inside pipe cleaners. This sign is about 13.5 inches by 6.5, I believe. Is it 6.5 or 5.5? I wrote it at the very bottom.
5.5.
5.5. Okay, so 13.5 by 5.5. Okay. I'm just laying my scissors on top of the mesh so that it kind of keeps it flat while I'm pulling my ruffles towards me. I think I've answered questions about the mesh, where it came from, the lengths.
She said, Rhonda, you'll love it. I've been in the friend group for over 3 years.
Yes, she has.
And said it's also been raining in Maryland.
Enjoy whatever rain you can get.
Pennsylvania, Anna said. I know. We'd send some our ways. Hi, Sharon. Hi, everybody.
I don't think we're going to get any anytime soon.
So just remember, we won't be on Friday.
Or Sunday. Or Saturday. So we pretty much, I think we've gone live every single day since Friday. We went Friday, Saturday, Sunday twice, Monday, yesterday, and now today. So yeah, that's
Between
a lot.
the public and private group.
That's a lot of lives. That's a lot of race.
Charlotte's a beautiful color.
I love this navy. It's such a really nice color. No metallics, and even the ribbons that I've selected, no metallics, so it's going to be a really nice, neutral, clean look.
Wow, Stormy, really?
What?
She said 7.25 inches of rain since Sunday.
That's insane. We could give you 7.25 inches of sunshine and hot weather for like, I can't even.
Most of the time we don't even get that much in a whole season.
Well, that's not true. It just depends on where you're at.
Well, where we're at.
Yeah, where we're at, it's not the happening place. We are suffering through probably the worst drought. I always say that every year. Every year it's the worst drought. Is it really? What I don't understand is California is not landlocked. California has a very large coastline. Simple word. Desalinization. Solve the problem. And then we have plenty of water because we have plenty of coastline. But then they're like, oh, but nobody wants to put a desalinization plant wherever they live. And it's like, hey, if it comes down to having water or not having water, I'd be like, put it on the public beach. They're not that hideous. Kind of how Israel solved its water shortage issue. Put it right on the Mediterranean Sea. Now, no water problem. Okay.
So zoom in so you can see you doing the ruffle.
The ruffle, I just figured since we're gonna put the sign and the lobster on here, we would just keep it minimal, like, you know, not doing cruffles and not trying to have to work around curls, that we would just keep it more wide and flat than anything else. And believe it or not, even when you look up Pinterest, there's not that many friends wreaths on Pinterest. There's like a handful of people. Mostly it's signs and random merchandise, quilts, stuff like that. So it's just kind of nice to have an inspiration. Like, pick a color, show me a color somebody has done. Okay. Trying to get these. It's a very stiff, very thick fabric mesh. Try to see Giles. He's right below where your camera is. Today, however, our weather's a little nicer. It's 88, which is so nice compared to the 100+ temps we've had since mid-June, I think. So any day that's got a cooling on the side of it is a good day. What are you doing? You're so quiet.
Just reading comments. Comments said very muggy and expecting rain here shortly. She's in another part of Pennsylvania.
I'm sure. Rain could be nice, but if it's still warm, yeah, just increase the humidity, which just makes it miserable.
Lisa said, funny thing, I just made a pot of coffee when my phone dings with your notification.
And voila, we're making a friend's kind of coffee-inspired wreath, I guess. Well, we're taking the nod from where the coffee shop where they all sit.
Congratulations, Lynn. She said she's expecting a granddaughter this weekend.
Nice.
It's been begging for rain here in western Idaho. The wildfires all around us, lots of smoke.
I hear you.
Cheryl, no, she's not going to sell all friends wreaths. This is a custom order.
Yeah.
That she's doing.
I'm making it for my daughter.
Yeah.
Since we'll see her this weekend, I'm like, hey, save on shipping. I'll just hand it to her when we see her this weekend. She can take it home and add it to her kitchen.
Yep.
Oops. Trying to get into the last inside one. 2, 3, 4, 5. I think it'll almost be time to buy some new wire cutters. Even though I have them. I have the heavy duty ones, so I don't pull those out that often. 2 more. No, be good. It's very talkative today. If I ignore him, maybe he'll just kind of walk away. Maybe. Maybe. If I look at him, then he just thinks that's permission.
Well, that.
See? I see him at the corner of my eye. Hopefully not.
Regina, she bought this on a long time ago, but if you go on Etsy, just type in Central Perk wood sign and you'll find dozens and dozens of them.
I think I just typed in Friends TV show sign.
Yeah, I typed in Friends Central Perk and
You found
sign.
something?
Oh yeah, there was tons of them.
Yeah. Okay, so there's our base. It's a lovely navy blue neutral base. So now we're gonna go around the outside and we'll add our 14-inch ribbon tails. So we're gonna go navy blue with large polka dots. And then of course, we're taking the nod for coffee and we're gonna do some coffee themed ribbon. And then that ties that in with the sign. The navy blue just kind of helps pull the navy into the design. Thought about doing red, and then I was like, no. I had 4 or 5 different color reds, and I was like, no. We'll just leave it neutral colors, like navy, white, tan. Yeah, they're all like a very subtle neutral. So I just fold these in half. They're going right inside the pipe cleaners. Give them a couple twists and then just kind of fan them out like that.
What was the name of the vendor you get your solid color ribbon from?
Kringle Designs.
Kringle Design.
So I'll have Steve type it in there. It's KRINGLE designs.us. Making sure I didn't skip the pipe cleaner. I think I'm okay. Again, pull to the outside. It'll be easy to find them. Under this way. Trying to get my ribbons to lay where I want them to go. They usually won't stay down until we get everything else in there and on top of that.
So I put it in there. You should be able to just click on the word and it'll take you right to Kringle Designs. The link.
Gotcha. Now, that's where I have gotten it. It may not be available. Supplies now are becoming a premium. So if you're waiting to order Christmas, you might just find things locally. I think it's going to be really hard. I know I was out on the internet looking for specific Christmas and it was coming up very generic. Like maybe something that just had red in it, but it necessarily wasn't Christmas themed, which is a bad sign.
Ron said, I know I just joined, but can you briefly go over what happens in the private group?
Well, we usually meet Sundays at 3 Pacific and Mondays at 5 Pacific for our design classes. The most recent ones will always be pinned to the top under announcement. And if you're looking for anything particular, you can either use the search option within the group and search for something specific that you're looking for. Or you can open up the files tab and then just scroll down. There's all the materials lists, and each materials list has, most recently, has pictures, and then at the very bottom is the video link for where the original tutorial lies. Discount codes are at the top under announcements. That's it in a nutshell that I can think of. Okay. It's kind of weird doing it backwards. Normally I go to the right and I'm going to the left. Sometimes it's good to retrain your brain, not get into habit.
The 2.5-inch coffee ribbon, I believe, is from Craft Outlet.
Fifth Street Studios. I didn't write that one down.
Oh, you didn't write that down? So
Yeah.
Fifth Street Studios, sorry.
Yeah. So if you just go shopfifthstreet.com, the website gives you, her website gives you a better discount for free shipping minimums than if you order it on her Etsy shop. But you can find her on Etsy or shopfifthstreet.com. That's usually where I go get a lot of last minute ribbon or ribbon that I need like within the next 2 or 3 days, because she's super fast in how quickly she ships. So I remember I needed coffee ribbon for a different design, and I just ended up, okay, let's look for anything that would go with that, like beige, brown. Honestly, there's so many people selling supplies right now. It is so hard to keep up with who has what, who shipping has what. last.
They said she'll try it on the website. She tried Etsy and it didn't pop up with that.
What? Fifth Street?
Yeah.
You have to, on Etsy, it's Fifth Street Studio. So it's hard. Etsy has made it a little bit of a challenge. So if you don't have it, even if you type it correctly, it'll still say, did you mean Fifth Street Studio? And you're like, that's what I just typed. And so you have to click that link again to get directly into her Etsy shop. So there's a bit of a disconnect there. Never used to be that way, but that's what I've noticed when I'm going to look for somebody specific. It'll still act as though I just, are you sure you mean this person? Yes. Okay, now we are going to add in some 18-inch, 1.5 pieces. So we're gonna take we're gonna stay color coordinated. The navy's gonna go with the navy and the brown's gonna go with our coffee. And I'll show you why when we get to the embellishment side. I needed to tone down the embellishment part of the ribbons because we're gonna be adding something to this. So you take your 18-inch pieces, you bring your tails together, you go up to about 2 inches from the top, pinch in, and then you're gonna take this part, lay it right into the pipe cleaner, and then you're gonna go ahead and give your twist so we can remove the pipe cleaner out of the way. We're gonna take the last little bit of the pipe cleaner nib and tuck it around the back. You're gonna have to write one side of your ribbon. Let's make this look pretty again. And then these are like 3D awareness bows. So that's what's gonna go on top of our coffee. And then the navy's gonna go on top of the polka dot. And it'll all make sense at the end. Okay. Add these two to the sides I'm working on. It's so much easier when you're making wreaths for a family member to have them here, and then you're like, okay, what else do you want to put on it? Do you want to put on this? So I think it's just whatever you want, Mom.
Yeah, it's Wednesday, but she's doing a live video today because we're not going to be on Friday, Saturday, or Sunday.
We won't be here this weekend. So, but there's what? Oh, we've almost made it. We've almost made it a whole week. If I'd go tomorrow, then it would have been a week straight. Which is a lot to do. I think we'll do that in December. We'll do,
kind of like we did that one time. We did 7 days of...
We might do 12 days of Christmas.
Oof.
Maybe.
Okay,
But it won't necessarily be Christmas. It'll just be 12 days of wreath making.
So let you know, when you backstar certain, that was your idea, not mine.
One a day I can deal with. If I'm doing 3 in a day standing, that's a lot. That's a lot for anyone. Yeah, that pushes me to what you can do. No more than 3. That's where I'm tapping out. This could almost be a nautical if there was no coffee ribbon in here. That would be fun to make an interchangeable wreath to where you did everything pretty generic and you can just change out the sides. Right?
Yeah.
you keep the same wreath, but oh man, it just depends. Like I looked at my youngest daughter's Halloween wreath that we made her last year, and because her front door faces the morning sun, it faded. I mean, I don't know when she put it on there, but yeah. I was like, that needs to come off the door. We can reuse the sign and just make you a new one, but that needs to go. It just does not look good. So that's why those dark, the dark orange, black, purple, those will fade if they're left in direct sunlight. Oop. Oh, I did the right one. I was like, did I do coffee? No, I did the right one. Blue on blue, brown on brown. Imagine how quick this would go if I didn't have to twist all the pipe cleaners multiple times. You just give them the 2 quick twists and you're done. Go a lot quicker. I just had too many occasions where if I don't twist them enough, sometimes, not always, they'll pop open. So now I just give them extra twists. Trying to think how we did this. I think it was totally different. Like I was thinking the nautical, when we did the lobster, the sign went to the right and the lobster went to the left. This will be different. So that should be interesting. You guys are so quiet. We're looking.
I would like 12 days of videos.
I know you would. You should come out here at Christmas and then you can help me do 12 days. Okay. We could just be 24. You could do 12, I could do 12.
Mary said, love the polka dot ribbon.
Isn't that pretty?
Guess who has 8 rolls of the orange and white mesh?
8?
Orange and white mesh from Joann's in their stash.
That must be you.
She said Crystal.
Really?
She's bringing it to me on Sunday.
Oh, wow. That's nice. I think I'm going to look online and see if I can find more of that. Yes, I need one. I need 2 more.
You heard?
Yes, I heard. On my way.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
You need 2 more what?
I need 2 more rolls of that cream. Like how we use that.
Yeah.
2 more. That would be nice. But now you're going to make me go back and double check, because Gail was saying that Hobby Lobby this year had, or last year, had the orange and white. It's a little darker, but it's still close. So now I'm going to have to go check my stash.
Linda, yeah, just 1 roll only of mesh.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it'll exactly 1 roll. So 18 pieces at about 20 inches. And the only reason I say about is I usually do the 6 inside ones right at 19. Because sometimes there's a bad splice in it, which will completely mess up all your calculations. Or there just isn't quite 360 inches to the roll, which is what it should be, but a lot of times it's not. Last one. Okay. And then we'll make our bow. We will add our sign and then add our final embellishments and the lobster. he needs to go in there too. So there's a lot. That's why we had to remove the 6 on the inside. Between the lobster, the sign, and the bow, there's no room. Okay. I'm going to push this to the side so we can make our bow. We're going to grab, so the blue with the white polka dot, Hobby Lobby, regular, not their seasonal section. Go when the ribbon is half off. This is $7.99 a roll, so if you go when it's half off, it's only $4, and you get a full, well, this one has 18 feet. It's still a fairly good deal. Like I said, this is, I don't know if you guys can see that. Can you zoom in on that, Steve? It's a shopfifthstreet.com. Yep. That's Fifth Street Studios website direct. And then same thing for the beige with the little dots. Same thing, Shop Fifth Street. The royal blue came from Craft Outlet. And then we're doing the beige, the brown, and tan with the white raised stitching, Craft Outlet. And then navy Swiss dot are all going in our bow. Craft Outlet, Craft Outlet, Craft Outlet for the last 2 or 3. Okay, so we're gonna go with, I'm gonna put the navy down because I want the coffee to be on top of all that blue. So we're gonna dovetail the ends, which is bring your wired edges together, cut from the corner down to your wired point, and that will give you a really nice dovetail finish. We're going to do this at 10 inches. Let's move these over. And then we're going to twist at the 10-inch mark. Place that inside the bow maker. This is a Bowdabra. I use it because it's an extra pair of hands if I need them.
I've got to zoom in.
So we're going to do 5.5 inches. So always bring it back to the 10. This way when you pull it out, that's actually 6. We can make sure it sits right on those precise measurements. Try this again. How it feels a little better. It is. Back out. And I think I have officially worn out my cutting mat. I think I've actually made a hole go all the way through the other side.
Did you?
I think so. When I was cutting all of, because you can see the white line because everything's 20 inches. I think the last couple cuts, I actually made it go all the way through the other side. So I will double check the end when I'm picking this up, and if so, I don't know. We'll probably keep it around for nostalgia's sake, or just if you need a work surface that you really don't care what gets on it. And the coffee ribbon, we're gonna do at 9.5 inches with 5-inch loops. So 9.5. I love this ribbon because it looks like coffee dripped on it. Like it has little coffee stains. So 5 inches. Let's make sure. Right at 5. Throwing this around. Another. Let's see. I love this ribbon because it has espresso, latte, coffee, cafe latte, cappuccino. I do 9.5. And it's cups, mugs, and then obviously the takeout. Okay, now I think we're gonna toggle back to, I think I'm gonna leave it like this. Or I might want to break up all those dots a bit. Probably like that. Because Swiss dot with the pearl circle ones just seems like there's too much dots. So this will be 9 inches with 4.5 inch loop. Okay, double check. Do one more time. Okay. All the way up to 9. There we go. Just set that one there.
Kenitha, that's more of it's a navy blue.
What's that?
Mesh.
Yeah, it's navy. Why does it look purple?
Right, and the ribbon is all navy blue.
Does it look purple?
No, they asked if it was royal or navy.
Oh yeah, it's navy. Yeah, royal would be that, like this, royal blue. So this ribbon, we're going 8.5. And we're gonna do the same, the 4.5. So because we've already done it on the Swiss dot, we can just kind of put our fingers in it and give it a pull. Same thing here. Give it a pull. Go back out to 8.5. 2 more to go. Okay. So our striped will be 8-inch tail with a 4-inch loop. Eight inches. And then 4-inch tail. So we're almost coming down a 1/2 inch every time, except for the 2 middle ones are exactly 4.5 exact. And then it goes 4 inches and then 3.5 to finish. So 8. Was looking for the pins. Last one. This will be 7.5 inch for the tail and 3.5 inch for the loop. So 7.5. Let's just make sure. Last one. Go back out. And then our bow is almost done. Okay. We will prepare our pipe cleaner in the U shape. We're going to sandwich everything together before we lift it up, and then just kind of shift your fingers so you can drop your pipe cleaner right inside. Give it a couple twists. we will get, this is my fluff board, aka cutting board. This is 17 by 24 inches. This is 3/4 inch thick, but you can easily pick one up at Home Depot or Lowe's in the pre-cut lumber section, 24 by 1 inch thick. While you're there, pick up an 1.5 to 2 inch C-hook or cup hook with a little thread. So you just screw it right into the wood and you're good.
Trust me, I need that ribbon. My kitchen has very old metal coffee pot and large rising spell out coffee.
Isn't that pretty? And so now what we're going to do is we're separating. So I'm just going to pull the loop to one side and the tail to the opposite.
Lisa said pretty.
Going back, we're doing tail, and here's our loop. Go back, and now we're going to go opposite directions. So these should technically be here. This goes over, and then we're going to go, here's our tail, and here's our loop. I'm not fluffing, I'm just separating. And then from here, because I don't want blue to just constantly keep stacking on top of blue, I'm going to alternate. So I'm going to pull my blue over. It's just whatever you do on one side, make sure you follow it up with the opposite. And then we're going to stay with our brown. Brown. And then blue, I'm going to stay back to the same side. Back over here. Here's blue. And then we have our brown. And then brown. And so now is when you get to fluff everything. So you can look at everything and decide, where do you want it all to lay? Do you want your loops all on one, like in the middle? Do you want them kind of staggered throughout the design? I can pull on these fairly, you know, the only thing I'm going to get is a side to side kind of movement. But I can move them wherever I want them to go. Make sure you do the same on the bottom. And I'm just going to do these. Do this side. Sometimes I like my loops, the tails, to be in the middle. They don't always have to be just to the sides. Okay. There's our bow. Okay. So we're sliding it off the opposite direction we put it on. Set that to the side. And now we're going to attach our sign. So this sign is more than 1/4 inch thick. So I am comfortable putting my pipe cleaners to the back with my staple gun.
Simone, it's beautiful. Joe's is right there.
Where? Watch. There he goes. He took off. He just does not like the click of the staple gun.
Yeah.
He takes off, which I feel so bad for. There we go. Those are all twisted just to make sure it doesn't come out the other side. We will. I'm looking for my inside pipe cleaners. So I'm going to try to do this directly over one of my inside. Just because I know that they're right over the top of the center. And I want to make sure that my pipe cleaners are on opposite sides of the rail. there's that one. To the other side. It's not your time yet. Okay, back over here. That'll keep everything pretty centered. Make sure loops are out of the way. Make sure everything is here. That I have not pinched any ribbons in the process. Okay, now a couple things. We've got to figure out where we're going to put the bow, and then where we're going to put the lobster. So lobster. Lobster. He, believe it or not, came from the gift shop at the Boston airport 3 years ago. Something like that. So he was an airport pet. His name is Rocky. That's all I can tell you. Rocky the lobster. So I think he's gonna kind of go a little bit like this, kind of angled down, kind of covering the corner of our sign a little bit, but we can still read the Central Perk, which means that we need to, the bulk of where we're attaching him is going to be like in the main part of his head in here. So I am just going to attach him with 22 gauge floral wire. Just going to go right through. It goes through really easy. We're going to give it a twist just to make sure it doesn't come out the other side. And he's going to sit, which is almost right where our other interior pipe cleaner is. So he, once I get him down there, there we go. Just like that. It's just sitting at the bottom of our sign. And then let's look at where we want to place our bow. Which, there we go.
Sure, it's in the lobster. Sure surprised me. So.
Why? Didn't plan on us putting a lobster in there.
Remember, it's a custom order.
Yes, it's a custom order. So if you know plenty of the Friends quotes, there's a quote in there.
Yeah, there's a funny episode about the lobster.
Yeah, that Phoebe relates Ross and Rachel's relationship like lobsters. That he's her lobster. So, because my daughter and her fiance share a love of Friends, this is where that inspiration came from. So now we will have this kind of fall this way. And we'll take a look. Really want. I need to fluff it. I'm just trying to pull some of the ruffles off around the sign. Pull our sign up just a touch. Okay. Let's pull this back just a bit so we can see our sign a little bit more. I want it to frame the edge but not cover our sign. Okay. Keep pulling. Okay. So here is what we have so far. And I'm going to get rid of the dreaded listening to the sound of wire scrape on the underside of my wreath. Okay. So now the lobster is secure in his place. And now we're going to embellish a couple areas on the wreath. So you have where the pins came from. See,
The pins.
at the bottom, second one from the bottom.
Friends, orange pins came from Shenanigans on Etsy.
No,
Shenanigans?
not Shanana.
Yes, ShenanipinS. ETSY.
Nana. So ShenAnI pins, Etsy. She, or like you said, Shenani pins.
Shenani pins.
That's what it says, Shenani pins.
That's what it says.
So these are going at the base. So these are all the infamous quotes from friends. So it's hard when you're trying to do a friends inspired wreath. It's like, what else can you put on it? You know, to kind of tie in everything. So like these ones, I had asked you guys for really great ideas. This one says pivot. So I'm going to find my favorite ones and put them towards the bottom. Like there's one that says Central Perk. There's one that just says friends. There's one that's the back of Monica's door with the little frame. There's one with a couch that says I'll be there for you. There's the lobster that says he's her lobster. There's Smelly Cat, it's not your fault. There is how are you doing? There is we are on a break. There is Joey doesn't share food. And there's one with the chicken with the sunglasses, or the turkey. That's when Joey got the turkey stuck on his head because he tried to wear it like a hat. So these are going. How many are there? 1, 2, 3. There's 12. And look, there's 12 places all the way around the outside. So these are pins. So we can see if we can pin these.
Sandra, she's on the private group on Sundays at 3 p.m. Pacific and Mondays 5 p.m. Pacific.
So if you're on our private group, it's all posted to the top. It's on our header. It lists all our times in case people forget. So I'm going to show you. Let me pin a couple of these on here. It's just more of a fun visual thing. So actually, pinning these to my loops on my 1.5 inches, which is why I needed these. So watch, I'm gonna spin this around so you guys can see what I'm doing. I'm just adding them there. Kind of taking the ones I'm not real fond of and kind of putting those a little up high.
She said, don't remember lobster, but I love watching Friends.
Well, then search the lobster episode.
I have to do this so I can put my finger behind where I'm putting my pin in at. I guess if you wanted to, you could glue these, but I kind of want it to where if she wanted to pull them off and put them someplace else, that's definitely within, you know, something she can do. Let us find, I'm gonna save the lobster one. I hate putting them on the underside where you really don't see them. Okay. And I'm trying to color code them as best as I can. But then sometimes you have to push them on there and then you have to spin the pin around so that it's in the right place. Saving that one. Saving the lobster for the lobster. And then I think I want to put 2 on the actual bow. Oop, this one just came. Okay. Trying to make them to where they stay. Let's do. It's hard making these little pins work because you want to make sure you get them secured back in their respective spots. But sometimes the pins are turned sideways, so you have to pin them, secure them, and then spin it. So let's put the lobster on the lobster. Thanks. Okay, a couple more. What do you guys think of the little idea of the little famous friends pins? The sayings.
It's cute. Kind of reminds me when you do the cow one with the little bottle caps.
Yeah. So I'm flipping them. We'll put the cat, I guess, down here at the bottom. Do you see him?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and then we'll add one to the top and the bow. So I'll spin this around so you guys can see it. So this is kind of one of the things that they bonded and met over. I guess. Trying to find which way they spin. They only spin one way. The last one we'll put over here. Okay, we are all done with the lobster. So he's all set and they're all done and I don't have to keep them anymore. I've fulfilled my promise of making a friend's wreath. And then you guys could hopefully find some inspiration in this design. Let's get it up on the door. Take this one off. Up here. Okay. Wow. All the stuff on it.
It's heavy.
It's pretty, yeah, it's pretty heavy. Let's get this one up in there. Okay.
Gail said super cute.
Thank you. Thanks for keeping me company too.
Charlotte says this wreath is as beautiful as all you make. Oh, thank you.
Thanks.
Patricia said Phoebe said he's her lobster. Yeah, there's just some other stuff. Yeah.
It is. Phoebe said it. Yep. So that's why it says he's her lobster. Okay.
Remember, wreaths can be very personal.
Oh yeah. Yeah, they don't have to be all about
Generic seasons.
yeah. So we'll leave that like that. There you guys go. So if you want, you can kind of understand his feet a little bit differently, but
yeah.
That's it. Short, simple. It's going in her kitchen, probably over her coffee bar. So yeah, it'll be fun. It'll be a conversation piece in their home that friends will ask. So friends, right?
Yeah.
Friends will ask about it. So that just goes to show you, you can do specific things. Sadly, I would be able to make this and then advertise it on my site based on copyright. But you can make them for family and friends that are looking for a specific design. So I just wanted to show you something different than you might be used to seeing.
It was a really cool testimony from Nancy.
What's that?
Said, Kat, I wanted to thank you for being such a great instructor on wreath making. I'm also in your private group. You have taught me so much. I had a blessing sale on a wreath Tuesday. I was asking $60, and the customer gave me $160 for the autism wreath.
Wow.
She said it was amazing. Thank you for all you have taught me.
Good for you. That's awesome. That's why we're here, right? For you to do what it is that you love to do. Because for me, this doesn't feel like a job. This is something I totally relax and enjoy doing. It's not a hobby. This is just something I truly enjoy doing.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Unless you have 15 orders all in a row, then you're like, ah.
That's why we only make one of each design. Because then you just do it. You have the fun.
Mm-hmm.
I could not get into mass producing them. That would just drive me crazy. It would just take the fun out of it. And look, I did. Look, everyone. I finally cut through my board.
Okay, well, that was going on.
So, yeah. No, not really, because I can just cut it in half and just use this for 10 inches.
We have the other one.
Always repurpose. Anyhow, just be cautious. I think I've had this for 2.5 years. But if you keep going in the same spot, eventually those self-healing cutting mats will go all the way through.
On the 20-inch, right?
Yeah, on the 20. You can tell I do 20s a lot. But I also sometimes do 10s. Like I'll just do 10 like this.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, have a great weekend, everyone. I will talk to you when I come back. And that's pretty much it. I'll see private group back on Mondays. And then everyone will resume back to normally scheduled programming next week. Bye, everyone.